Okay, there's a random boat in the bottle, but that's not really the centerpiece of our attention. It's all about this man again for part 3. Martin, I need to ask you a few questions about the future and, well, books and technology. Just spew, man. What do you have to say?
Spewing is... this. Everybody has been... It's a bit like cinema. Everybody turned around and said when video came along, that was going to be the death of cinema. No, it wasn't. Things just shifted. Everybody's saying now it's the death of the novel because you perhaps won't be able to go to high street bookshops and buy books off the shelves as much as you used to. That is the death of the novel. It's not the death of the novel. The novel's going to change and develop, and we've already seen it about the rise of Kindle. Now it's going to become. There's brilliant stuff in the future. There's going to be interactive novels. There's going to be predict your ending novels. There's going to be everything that you can fit into a digital piece of technology. Reader driven. This is the point that I was saying earlier on about the things that we're getting involved with now. It's reader driven. It's user driven. It's a user driven worlds that we're trying to create, and it's going to be terrific for readers because readers will be able to immerse themselves. They'll be able to become part of the novels. To a certain extent, you can see it on the likes of social media at the moment. Like never before. It used to be in the old days. An author would write a book. They would do some signings. They'd go to the odd convention, and that was the only time that the reader ever had any interaction with them. They would see them from a distance, and they'd sign their book. Now the likes of Jonathan Mabry, a good friend of mine in the States, who writes for Marvel and writes his own novels, of course, as well, and Harry Shannon, they've got huge social media presences. They're talking one-to-one with the people that are buying their books and are reading their graphic novels. Speaking one-to-one, getting their ideas, asking things. Jonathan done a terrific thing a while ago. He said, what character do you want in my next book? And he did a poll out, and the readers said, well, wouldn't it be great if we had this, that and the other? And he picked one, and it's going in his book. And that's the kind of thing that we can see in the future, where the digital world allows to marry up reader with writer. And I think that's wonderful.
It sounds astounding. I am for a moment going to play devil's advocate. Some have said that essentially the idea of a writer is to go off into another space and to leave their community behind and then come back with information. Do you feel that being questioned or even given characters is somehow, in a way, does it interject with that communion with yourself?
No, it doesn't, because it will not affect the fabric of the book.
Okay.
Now, let's take a set. Let's take a thing. Right? I'm going to do a crime novel. I'm going to base it here at the Maritime Museum.
Cool.
Tomorrow morning, janitor comes in and opens up the doors, and there's a dead woman on the ground. Her face has been smashed open, and she's carrying a knife in her hand, and there's blood dripping on the knife. Later on in the book, you find that the DNA don't match. Now, right, we've got something. We've built something there. Yeah. There's nothing wrong in saying somewhere along the line to readers is, before you even write this book, I've got some ideas for my next novel. I'm not going to tell you what they are, but what aspects do you like in a crime novel?
So controlled collaboration.
Well, it's not so much collaboration as filling...
Random people on the bike.
Random people on bikes,
Continue.
Yeah. It's not so much... It's given the reader a sense of ownership, whilst they're not getting creative direction, but they're getting a sense of ownership. So they have come up and they've said, your premise is that there's been a murder in a museum. Okay, yeah. Well, what about if we had a guy in there who seen it happen, and we haven't seen enough people in wheelchairs in books. How about that? Would that add in that? And you can write it in. So that's all it is. It's not taking creative direction. It's just adding implements into the novel that gives the reader a sense of involvement.
Okay. So adding on another aspect of creativity to the way you write fiction might, in fact, breathe more life into the way you write. So you're looking for inspiration outside of that community. Maybe sometimes writers take too seriously. Maybe it's about freedom of creativity.
It is. At some stage, and for writing it, you are locked away in a corner and you're going to write it, and you are closed off, and that's just going to be that you're just going to do that. You're going to write the thing, and the involvement. I have a closed door policy when I'm writing first and second drafts, and nobody gets to see it. But prior to that, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it's not, as I said, it's not creative direction, but you are, before you're even writing the thing, you're giving the readers who've been loyal to read your books a chance to say, you know, I'm in with it from the go. Okay. And film directors have been doing this for years. They've been doing this for years. They've been putting polls out and around people to see what will work, what won't work, and all the rest. And that, you know, it's not doing anything different. At some stage, again, a film director and writers, they lock themselves in rooms and they write the film. So it's nothing different.
Fantastic. Yeah. Martin, before we go, two things. One, do you have any advice for new writers?
Yeah, right.
Okay, good.
Write and read. Sorry, two bits. Read a lot, write a lot. That's it.
Fantastic. Second thing is, plug whatever you want that's actually on sale right now on Amazon. Hint, hint.
The Silver Mist.
Good. Where can we get it? It's on Amazon.
You can get it on Amazon. You can get it Kindle, paperback. Whatever. It's on Amazon. It's on all the usual. It was published in 2011, so it's not in many bookshops at the minute, but they can order it for you.
That's all good. You are a modern cult in the making. You are a myth made flesh. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Sean. Thanks.